of us in our homes, you have what are called stacked outlets. You have one over the top of the other. So theoretically, you can only plug two things in. And building codes in America really have not changed that much since about 1964. So what you run into is a situation where, as an example, in your bedroom, right about where your headboard goes for the bed, you've got two plugs, one right over the top of the other. But if I've got a bedside table on each side of the bed and I want to plug a lamp into both, I've exhausted my electrical outlets, which means if I choose to put a powered alarm clock on that table, I've got to find another place to plug it in. And all of us have more things to plug in than ever before. In the living room that I grew up, we had a TV, and that was the only thing on that wall that was plugged in. Now you've got a TV, you've got a cable box that's powered, maybe a sound bar to go along with it, maybe even a DVR, and you run out of outlets very quickly. So the company called PowerCube came up with this configuration. You're still using one plug, and it is a three-way plug. But then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth plug here. And each one of these has a fuse that's attached to it so that you don't have to worry about overpowering the circuit. It doesn't use surge protection per se. We'll get into that. But what it does is it becomes a line of defense. You know, that $1,500 TV that you bought? Now you've got a little bit of protection against power surges. This happens to be the gray, but we do have different colors. We've got a light gray, which has been very, very limited. We have blue. We've got a few left in the red, and then we do have the white. The reason for making them color-coded is because the theory is they work so well, let them show. Obviously, sometimes it's going to be hidden behind a couch or behind the headboard of the bed, but in, say, the kitchen, yeah, let them show. Look at that. That's brilliant. Paige Volovich is our problem solution electronics expert, and she's been bringing us great ideas. I noticed you have one of the 1970s power strips in your hand.
Dan, don't we all have these, right? And we feel like we buy that one and we let it go, and then it starts collecting those dust bunnies. And I asked you to make sure that still has that surge protection built in.
Yep.
And the reason why these really work so well, to your point, Dan, we had very limited outlets in our home, but we still had to plug in all those items. So this is where that
Paige,
power strip came in handy.
In older days, which means anything prior to 2000, the size of our plugs were all universally about the same. And then everything became a chunky charging plug. Yep, exactly. And that became the bane to a power strip because you couldn't use all the plugs. You'd bury them with just one plug.
Well, and you're right. This one was a 6 socket, right? So in theory, I should be able to plug in 6 of those older traditional plugs. But Dan, this is from a Bluetooth speaker. I don't know why. Here's my alarm clock brick. I don't know why it needs to be this big. These are 2 items that are fairly small. And then not only that, Dan, so 1, 2, 3 sockets, but the dongle takes some valuable real estate. So now we just use 4 sockets. So then you try to plug in something like this, maybe you're getting 2 items. So PowerCube, that's really how it was born. It said, you know, we love the idea, but let's do this in a really affordable way, multiply and upgrade your outlets. And just what Dan has, he's going to take that, you plug it directly in the outlet, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, and boom, Dan, this will be my house on Christmas Day, right? Everyone brings the crock pots and the Instant Pot. Where do we put it all? It's all spread out. No, now it's consolidated, it's clean, it's organized. We all have this all across America, right? That center command central, your phone, your tablets, your cameras. This is a big fan favorite in bedrooms for all the obvious reasons. We have all those beauty devices and it corrals it. I know, Dan, that would be helpful for you, right? Kelly would give you your space back.
Various accoutrements, yes.
All those. And nightstand, CPAP machine. I hear so many people that have the CPAP machine and all the other devices. And then, of course, our home offices. Maybe you're working from home or school, or just even these are normal devices that we have in. And Dan, that fits. I'm glad you talked about the flat screen television earlier. That actually is about the size of a baseball. It's
Yep.
1.6 ounces, and it can fit behind that flat screen television. I know a lot of people have asked me that. And think about it this way, I travel, maybe you're going to go visit family, but think about bringing these in your travel bag, because most of us actually charge about 4 items a night, a day. So that's your phone, your tablet, your smartwatch,
Yep.
a Bluetooth speaker. But when you travel, I love that it's all in one location. Most times, people, we leave our electronics or our important devices because they're all scattered around a hotel room or a family member's room. So, affordable way. And you and I love surge protection, right? Built in. We have that surge protection. So, any of those brownouts, blackouts, we're getting hail by me, Dan. So, fingers crossed we don't lose that power. But if we do, my flat screen's protected, my laptop, my
That's big.
desktop. So,
Yeah.
all those items that you invested in the past or the future, or maybe you're gifting now, it's never too late to add that surge protection. I always say it's a really small investment protecting that larger investment.
You would think with as technologically advanced as we become, that households by themselves, the outlets, would have surge protection, but they don't. It doesn't make sense. You've got to buy an aftermarket product for that surge protection. And by the way, surge protection doesn't mean your house being hit by lightning. That would certainly be a surge. But when your furnace kicks on and you notice that your lights dim for a split second, that's a power surge. In the summertime, same thing with your air conditioner. When you're drawing more power than the average, you get power surges. They happen all the time. And the downside is everything that's technologically advanced and has circuit boards in it, which is now everything from your toaster to your cell phones to your TVs, anything with a chunky plug that you plug in, those are all very susceptible to power surges. And it's plus or minus 15 amps. So you need to have something in your home that you're plugging into before you plug into the wall. Otherwise, you run the risk of losing that item. We're supposed to have huge winds today and cold temperatures, and it rained this morning. We had ice storms yesterday. That's when we wind up with power surges. Now, by the way, very few people, when you lose power, run around to all the things that are in your house that are plugged in to turn them off. So when your power comes back on, everything is a power surge. And that's where you wind up losing your electronics. I happen to have the dark gray right here. We still have the light gray. There's the blue. We also have red, and then we are limited in the white. And the white has been the most popular. So think about this as just a upgrade for your home. Even old houses, like my old farmhouse, I now talk in rooms and things happen. I would never have expected that. My wife purchased something called Google Assist. And now you talk. You walk in and you say, table lamp on. And the lamp, I live in George Jetson's house now. And the house was built in 1790. So this is just a simple upgrade for less than 30 bucks. Paige, I love how, show that. Those are all modern plugs fitting into the PowerCube.
These are all the things you and I use every day, and really everyone. I mean, this is my digital camera charger. This is my tablet charger. This is a wireless charging pad. So all I'm doing, Dan, is what you'll notice is every time I plug something in, I twist it because the next socket is at a different 90-degree angle, but that's by design. They've been recognized by the Red Dot Award for Design and Engineering for that reason, because when you have it at different degrees, that means you can plug it in and it's not blocking or obstructing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items all at the same time. No electrician, no installation, no fees. And now you can plug in all your devices in any room in the house.
That's perfect. Paige, thank you so very much. I won't get a chance to see you again before the holidays, so the very best to you and your family.
Merry Christmas, Dan. It's been a great season with you. Take care.
Wonderful. Hey, Mike, upstairs. Did Jonathan just go home? Is that what happened?